good news. This week I've been giving you good news. And the good news comes from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, where the Lord told us how to go about having our land healed. And if you're like I am, I very much desire that, because I see things that very deeply concern me. So I'm reading this scripture, and I say, well, there's only 4 things here. There's only 4 that he says would be required of us to see our land healed, to humble ourselves, to pray, to seek the face of God, and turn from our wicked ways. Well, I think that if we were becoming proficient in those first 3, the 4th one might just take care of itself. Because the truth of the matter is, the wickedness that we see in our land comes from selfishness, self-centered, people who are self-serving, and they really don't care about their fellow man, and they certainly don't care about God, and they certainly don't care anything about seeking their spiritual self and allowing their spiritual self to become connected to a spiritual God. But nevertheless, this is one of the things that the Lord said, that if we accomplish these things, then he will heal our land. So how do you go about ridding a nation or a people from their wicked ways? Well, obviously, prayer is the number 1 tool in all of this. But see, the person who is living the carnal life, they're not the ones that's going to be praying. They're the ones that's going to be ridiculing anybody who does pray. So where is this strength coming from? Well, it has to be from the believers. And that would be the church. And I'm talking about the church that's really connected. There's a lot of churches, and I don't mean to be critical here, but we know this. There are a lot of churches that have just totally lost their way when it comes to true spirituality. And so I'm talking about those who probably are listening to this broadcast, that you know that the formula is prayer. But you remember yesterday and the day before that, I used a word that's often very unpopular, and that's discipline. That's being committed, and that's being fervent. Because we read in the scripture, it says, the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man or of a righteous nation. It says, God will hear from heaven, and it availeth much, the scripture says. So, church, are we ready? Do we really desire to see our land healed? Do we really desire to see the Spirit of God move across our land? We know the answer. We know what to do. But the question is, it really does remain. The question is, will we do it? And will it start with me and you? This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.